What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. On the bottom right hand section of the screen down here, you'll see the QR code for my niece's Race for Life for Cancer Research. I'm trying to help her out from a monetary point of view. So I said that I would put this out for everybody. Nobody's under any obligation to do anything. So if you can, fantastic. If not, don't worry about it. It's not a problem at all. But I said that I would give her a hand and, you know, do the best that I could do for her. So I'm just doing uncle duties and trying to be as caring as I possibly can do. I love that girl to death. She's incredible. I love all my nieces, actually, to be fair. If you're not, please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure that you are commenting, liking, hyping the video. And I really wanted to say as well, if you're listening to the audio, please make sure you're liking that either on Spotify or also on Apple Podcasts as well, so you can see up there. I will get this right at some point. I need to stop looking at the screen like this because it makes it all feel kind of weird. But thank you so much for the love and support on the last video that I did with the walk around of the stadium. It's been fantastically well received. Everybody has been so kind on the video, so I genuinely do appreciate that, and that looks like something that's going to be a staple for a little while now moving forward. So that's, what, 4 years of content that I've got to look forward to for the stadium. So I think what I'm going to do is invest. I've had drones before. I used to have a POV drone, but I got rid of it for whatever reason. But I wish I'd have kept it now because it would have been cool to have had that. So I'm going to look into getting a drone. And as well as walking around the stadium, I'm also going to see if I can do some sort of over the top flights of bits and pieces and just give you as much information as humanly possible. So you've really given me the motivation to move forward on that. So thank you guys. I genuinely really do appreciate it. Now, looking into today's video, there's two things that I wanted to talk about. There is a little update on Ethan Ampadu, which we're going to go into, which is from a article from Beren Cross that's in the Athletic that came out 8th of July, depending on when you're watching this video, which I think could be coming out on the 9th. So on the 8th of July, just with regards to just a little bit of further information, he went back to Ellen Road and he gave a little bit of an interview. So that's really good. And I also wanted as well just to focus on Karl Darlow and have a bit of a chat about Karl Darlow as well, because I don't think he's been given enough flowers for the way that he's managed the back end of this season in particular. So I just wanted to just speak on him and just put a little case forward and just see what you guys thought. So first thing we're going to jump into is the Ampadu article that came out in the Athletic. That came out a little bit earlier on, like I said, about 3 o'clock today. And he kind of came back to Ellen Road to give a little bit of success. The headline for it is, "Everyone wants to see Daniel Farke continue at Leeds, says Ethan Ampadu." So it looks like, regardless of your feeling on him, it looks like Farke is going to be staying. It looks like that is something that everybody is pushing towards. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the article reads that Ethan Ampadu did not need assurances on Daniel Farke's future to sign his new Leeds United contract last week, but intimated everybody wants to see the manager continue at Ellen Road. So it goes on just to say, with regards to last Thursday, the captain signed a new contract which expires in 2030. While the deal was announced when he was on international duty with Wales on Monday, he returned to West Yorkshire for a series of interviews about the contract. There's been some bits and pieces that we've seen, but it just puts a little bit more, or a bit more meat on the bone, shall we say, for his actual contract itself. So the article highlights that Ampadu was the first arrival of Farke's tenure in July 2023, and he has been a mainstay in the team ever since, graduating to captain 1 year later. It is also interesting to note that the $7 million that we paid for him, when he came through the door, everybody else was walking out the door at that moment in time as well. So it was a very, very topsy-turvy time, I think is a fair assessment. There was a lot going on, a lot of upheaval and everything floating around. So when he was talking about his signing of the new contract and asked if he had wanted any assurances on the German's next steps before committing his own future to the club, Ampadu said that his conversations are separate to mine. So, you know, that's just, he's not going to give away information that he's not supposed to, I suppose, is he? It's one I feel is the best for me, making my decision. Everything else influences but making my decision was based on me. So what he feels and how he is at the club and settled and all of that kind of stuff. He goes on to say that he's very grateful for everything Daniel has done for him and for the club to progress. That is what everybody wants. He was also asked about Parag's comments about him. Parag has been pretty much gushing with regards to Ampadu when he announced that he had signed an extension to his contract. And Ampadu responded with, "It's very kind words and I'm very appreciative and grateful for the trust they put in me. I feel like me and Leeds have been a good fit so far. I feel like I can represent the people well. It's a very hard-working city. It's a fan base that wants hard-working players, and I like to think I base my game off of that. My first thing is to make sure that I'm hard-working. I'm always trying to be the hardest worker on the pitch and give my all. That is a nice fit, and to hear those words is obviously very special." He was my choice for Player of the Season. His compatriots gave him Player of the Season as well. I've got nothing but superlatives to say for the guy. I genuinely love the guy to death, like massively. He then goes on to say that when asked about how he feels about going into eventually leading United back into Euro competitions, he said, "That's the end goal. That's what we want to do. That's what we're all striving for. There's a lot of hard work to get us to that point, which we're all aware of and we're all relishing. It's definitely something we should enjoy trying to do." He is so media trained, it's not even funny, but he's genuine with it as well. I don't think there's any falseness with it when it comes into that. It then goes on to talk about how the no secret that Leeds tried to sign Harry Wilson on the final day of last summer's transfer window. Wilson is teammates with Ampadu for Wales, and the latter was asked if he's been trying to sell Leeds to the forward, whose Fulham contract expires at the end of this month. Now, remember, talked about it on Jer's podcast today on The View when we were talking about sort of giving our season overview, if you like. And Ampadu's, he's basically admitted that he's been trying to sell it to him. "I'm trying to sell it to everyone," he said, smiling. "It's a pretty easy sell. Everyone knows how special a place Leeds is, but whenever we get asked how our time at Leeds is, when we're with Wales, we speak about it so glowingly." So you know Agent Ampadu is doing his best in that to try and help get the Wilson deal across the line if it's there and it's open to us. And it is important to remember that a deal was agreed in principle in the transfer window to bring him to Leeds, Harry Wilson, that is. So, and just to point out as well, it has gone onto the markets. He's gone to 2-1 favourite. It was Aston Villa. It's now us 2-1 favourite that he will be at Leeds United. Now, all that takes is for somebody just to bet a little bit of money, and that moves the booking market. That moves the betting markets, I should say. But overall, it's going to be interesting to see how that one draws out. But Wilson is the only player that we are consistently linked with. So hopefully, it should be good. Right. Now I want to move into another section, and this is just having a little chat about Karl Darlow. On the screen, you'll see, I hope you like the images as well. I downloaded an app, and I'm trying to do some little creative bits and pieces, just something a little bit different for the videos, just to try and pull some information in and just give you some nice images and stuff and things like that. But just going through Karl Darlow's details, so you'll see his main statistics that are on the screen and everything. And now I can't help but feel like we shouldn't be in a massive rush to spend a cackload of money on another keeper for it to fail again. We obviously have the situation with Perry where it's not quite worked out. However, with that being said, he has done well in the FA Cup, so is there a redemption arc there for him? Who knows? We know that Darlow's contract finishes at the end of this month. I think Darlow has done more than enough to earn a extension to his contract, maybe for an additional year, if not for any other reason, but to, settle the ship and just make sure that there's a level of continuity there. It could be that he stays on for another year, that Perry stays on, and that they both fight to get their places back in the team. But I saw a statistic today with him having a 70% save ratio, and funnily enough, when you put that up against Roos at Sunderland, I know I keep talking about Sunderland, but Roos is a phenomenally good keeper, very, very good. Darlow's managed to get those statistics with more shots, with facing more shots as well. So he's made more saves overall. And I think it's no coincidence that Darlow's performances really came into their own from January onwards. And if you look at on the screen where you can see the overall performances, it gives a summary over sort of like the last 12 months, if you like. So looking at the back of last season, and then coming into obviously the new season in the Premier League, when you look at that little nasty period that we had between October, November, December he didn't play, and then from February onwards, he doesn't score under 7 for the remainder of the season. February he averaged out at 7.6. March he averaged out at 7.2. April he averaged out at 7.3. May he averaged out at 7.4, and then it's got it into June as to a 7.1, which should be with international appearances and everything that goes on with that. But it just, I really like Darlow as a keeper. I think he has done enough to warrant an extension to his contract, and he could potentially be a bit of a problem solver for us for maybe another season. And I'm not suggesting about kicking the can down the road. Believe me, if a Trafford becomes available, then you go and get the Trafford and you sign him on loan for the season. That's if he became available, and if he wanted to come to Leeds, that's a very big if though, because we'll have to wait and see what happens. But it'd be cool if that was to happen. But I do think that Darlow has done enough to warrant at the bare minimum another year. I think he's been steady. I think he's been assured. I think he's been reliable. I think he's been really steady in the defence. And it's no coincidence to me that, you know, we've got, particularly going up to the midfield area, we have an extremely strong Welsh spine in that team. You've got Captain Ampadu, Welsh, obviously. You've then got Rodon, who is just... We talked about this tonight, actually. Rodon really goes unnoticed in everything that he does, just in the work that he does, the way that he plays, the way that he performs. He just gets on with the role. He's very rarely injured, if at all. And then you've got Darlow. So you've got keeper, defence, midfield. Just a really nice Welsh spine to the squad, but it's a very good, settled group of players. And then you throw in Strauch, and then you throw in Biol into the mix with that as well, and you throw in, you know, Bogle's used to playing with him as well. And it's that thing of, for 2 seasons running now, Darlow has come in and not rescued us, but he's come in and he has done the steadying of the ship. He has done what you would want a goalkeeper to do. He's been a safe, assured pair of hands, which is what you need. There's been a couple of occasions where he's had what you would probably term as a little bit of moments-ish, but he's been so good, and he's got incredible teeth as well. Incredible teeth, incredible style, incredible hair. He deserves a new contract as far as I'm concerned, and it should happen. I really do think that it should happen. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Wilson? What are your thoughts on Darlow? What are your thoughts on the Ampadu side of things? I just like this positivity that's around us at this moment in time. I like it that we're not a basket case of a club like we always used to be. I like it that we are just moving forwards and appear to be sensible and professional, which is, I know it's difficult for some people, but for me, I'm enjoying it. It's nice. It does make a really pleasing change, to say the least. If you're not subscribed, please make sure that you are. Make sure you turn your notifications on. Make sure you're commenting for me. Make sure you're hyping the video for me as well. If you're listening on the audio side of things, make sure that you're following it on either Apple or also on Spotify. But also as well, make sure that you are commenting and doing all those bits and pieces. But more importantly than that, take care of each other. And way more important than that, please take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Take it easy. Cheers.